In this video, I'm going to show you 10 etiquette mistakes that can embarrass you on a plane and what you can do to fix those mistakes. Hello, I'm Juliana Santiago and I'm an international etiquette specialist. And here, I help you improve your image, your posture, and the way people perceive you. And in today's video, I'm going to show you terrible etiquette mistakes on airplanes that can put you in very embarrassing situations. The first mistake is invading someone else's space with your elbows or aggressively fighting for the armrest. On the airplane, space is already limited, so when you take up both armrests, you automatically take away the comfort of the person next to you. Sometimes we do this without realizing it, simply trying to get more comfortable, and sometimes it turns into a dispute that isn't very polite. In these situations, pay attention to your body, notice if you're bothering anyone, and adjust your posture on the plane to avoid causing discomfort. And etiquette is exactly that, seeking your own comfort without harming the comfort of those around you. The second mistake is putting your legs or feet in the airplane aisle. A lot of people do this thinking they'll be more comfortable, but they end up getting in the way of the crew and other passengers. Sometimes the person even falls asleep and doesn't realize their leg is in the way, and then the crew's cart comes by and ends up hitting their leg. It's not pleasant. That's why you should pay close attention to where you place your feet, especially if you're in the aisle seat. Always stay within your space, stay in your seat. Another mistake is starting a conversation with strangers without noticing if the person is really open to it. You need to pay attention to the signs that someone is not available. The person might be wearing headphones, reading, working, or just wanting to be quiet, and all of that needs to be respected. Before starting any conversation, observe the other person's behavior. If you notice that the person is not open to interaction, it's important to respect that. Knowing when not to speak is also a form of elegance. A sign that someone is open to conversation is having a more open posture and making eye contact with the environment. If you notice that the person is more closed off, is reading, or is just using their phone, it's necessary to allow them their privacy. The fourth mistake is speaking too loudly during the flight. The airplane is a closed, shared environment, and sound spreads very easily. Sometimes you might just be talking normally, but for those around you, it can be extremely annoying. That's why it's always important to pay attention to your tone of voice, speak more quietly, and remember that you're in a private environment. And if this kind of guidance is already helping you to observe your behavior more in your daily life, take the opportunity to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Because every week I bring practical etiquette and behavior tips so you can feel more confident and elegant in any environment. The fifth mistake involves a delicate situation. Parents who don't control their children's behavior during the flight. Children kicking the seat in front, screaming and hitting. And the parents don't intervene, don't guide, don't try to contain them. Of course, not everything is under control. It really is something to pay attention to, and parents need to try to minimize the impact of this in front of the other passengers as well. As a mother, I suggest you bring toys, activities, or something that can distract the child. This helps a lot and makes all the difference for everyone to have a smoother flight now. The sixth mistake is the opposite extreme. Passengers lacking empathy for parents and children. Sometimes situations, especially with babies, are beyond our control. Many times a baby may start crying for various reasons, or even a child may be experiencing discomfort that isn't so easy to control. So if you notice that the parents are trying to handle it, be patient, be understanding. Etiquette also means understanding that not everything is about you, and there may be situations that really weren't expected. And a very common mistake, which is quite surprising. Every time I travel by plane, I see this mistake, which is standing up before it's time to disembark or trying to leave out of order. The plane hasn't even opened its doors and the person is already standing up, pushing, creating an anxious atmosphere. Wait for your turn. Disembarkation happens in order, and that makes the process more organized and less stressful for everyone. The eighth mistake is putting your luggage in the overhead bin away from your seat. This happens very often and causes a lot of trouble. A lot of people do this thinking they'll secure a spot in the overhead bin because they believe that when they get to their own seat, there might not be any space left for their bag. The problem is that when you take up a space that isn't yours, those who board after you end up with no options. And they have to look for a place to put their own luggage, which causes stress, delays, and discomfort for everyone. Use the overhead bin closest to your seat and keep smaller bags at your feet. This is one of those simple actions that says a lot about who you are. They show care, respect, and consideration for those around you. And this is one of those details that may seem small, but it changes the way people see you. The way you behave, even in everyday situations, directly influences the image you project. Whether you are seen as someone polite, elegant, and aware or not. And this opens doors, creates opportunities, both professionally and socially. And do you want to develop a more attentive perspective for your social interactions? Learn how to behave in shared environments, gain more confidence, and improve the way people perceive you on a daily basis. The Etiquette and Good Manners course was created exactly for that. It helps you improve your posture, your first impressions, the way you behave and communicate, even at the table, directly reflecting on the image you project. To learn more, just point your phone at the QR code that's appearing on the screen or click the link in the description to access the website and secure your spot. As soon as you secure your spot, you'll receive access in your email and you can start watching the classes today. I'm waiting for you now. Another common mistake I see is reclining the seat aggressively. The person behind you might be eating, working, or using their laptop. When the seat reclines suddenly, it causes discomfort and even risk before reclining. Observe and do it carefully, and if necessary, let the person know with a gesture or a word. Another common airplane etiquette mistake is discussing inappropriate topics or negative flying experiences with strangers or acquaintances. It's terrible to talk about severe turbulence, technical failures, emergency landings, delays due to mechanical problems, or even air accidents, as it can cause fear and anxiety in other people. Comments like, "Once the plane almost crashed, this model always has problems," or "My flight had a terrifying turbulence," are not appropriate. They may seem harmless, but they increase the anxiety of those around you. Elegance now means being aware of your surroundings and choosing light, neutral topics like the trip, destination, movies, or books. Respecting the emotional comfort of those around you. And you certainly want to come across as a more charismatic person. And that's why I suggest you watch this video I already made, where I show some social skills that make people like you more. Also, take the opportunity to sign up for our etiquette training and come find your best version. I'll be waiting for you. See you soon.